I'm breathing like a bitch over there.
How dare me? I'm so stuffed up and just wake up. It's like, ugh, bunch of dust mites, Eddie.
Ugh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Next Level, your home for all things video games and gaming news. I am your host, Eddie the Fishman Fisher, joined by this little man right here in the corner of my screen.
Oh, what up?
Dig Douglas.
Yep. Hey.
How have you been, my good sir, outside of booger-faced?
Man, okay, so I didn't get any sleep last night. I couldn't sleep. I was too restless.
Why?
So really, I have no idea. I usually have been getting pretty good sleep lately, but last night I could not. So I'm pretty tired, but we're good. Took a nap. But while I wasn't sleeping, I played some Capcom versus SNK 2 and Mark of the Wolves quite a bit.
You played more.
Yeah. So on the PS3, you can download the PS2 version of Capcom vs. SNK.
Okay.
And fight sticks work on it. So
nice.
Those, what was I going to say? Certain sticks won't, but the ones I have work, so that's fine. I also found out people prefer the PS2 version over the Xbox version.
Why is that?
I guess they changed some of the grooves in the Xbox version that I had no idea. I guess they got rid of I guess they changed the speed of some of the rolls. Like you could cancel them quicker in the Xbox, and they didn't like how that changed the flow of fighting. I'm not sure which groove they changed that on, but all I know is that someone was like, this is why they changed this. This is why they don't play it in tournaments. They only play PS2 and the Dreamcast 1.
Weird.
Yeah. So I didn't know that. I thought everyone said the Xbox one was the best one, but I guess obviously it goes arcade, Dreamcast, PS2. And then people don't like the Xbox or GameCube version.
Well, the GameCube one's got the cheater stick.
Oh, so does Xbox. It has that too. Oh,
I would assume the PS2 one probably has it as well.
No, it doesn't actually.
Really? They cut that out of it?
Yeah. So that's cool. I didn't know that. And I tell you what, Mark of the Wolves is pretty good.
I know. It's so good.
Yeah, they some good hits. Games got a real good hit to it.
And one of my favorite things about it too is like when you do a down forward kick with say Kushnud Butt. If you do it with his light kick, it's a different move than if you do it with his heavy kick. Like completely different moves. But in my brain that makes it it makes it so I don't have to remember too many inputs. You just have to remember this button or this button. It makes it a lot easier to know kind of how to better utilize your character without overthinking the commands on it, which is really nice.
So why is this game? So it's part of the King of Fighters series, I'm assuming, right?
It's part of the Fatal Fury series, it's Fatal Fury,
okay,
which I believe is like King of Fighters and Fatal Fury kind of cross paths.
And then they made this cool game.
I don't know. It's weird because it's set after, it's part of a timeline. Like these SNK games have like an actual storyline to other fighting games. I was looking it up before. It's crazy, but for example, Rock Howard of Mark of the Wolves, the main character, I think is like the son. Yeah, he's the son of Geese Howard, who is the bad guy of Fatal Fury, who the Bogard brothers fight. And Terry decided to be like, oh, hey, I'm going to raise this kid the right way.
Because I'm a pizza man, and I know how to raise kids.
There's all sorts of these crazy storylines, and there's characters in Mark of the Wolves who are like Kim is obviously still from King of Fighters stuff, but then there's that army dude, I can't remember, but he is, I think, a whole part of that whole Ralph and Clark thing, and then you have that wrestler is like a descendant of the other guy from King of Fighters or something crazy. But there's like actual storylines that these things follow, and like the 2013 and all that kind of stuff follow the Orochi saga. So it's crazy.
Yeah, because when I was looking up some stuff, like figuring out why people like the more with Capcom vs. SNK 2, I saw some of that stuff because someone's like, well, isn't this game part of the timeline because Ken and Terry have kids? And I'm like, I don't want to get involved in that. I just know that these are cool fighting games and that's it. I don't need to.
Yeah, didn't Ken have like a baby in Street Fighter 4? Or was his wife still pregnant in Street Fighter 4?
Oh, with those cool anime cutscenes?
Yeah.
Those were actually really well done. It was weird. Man, those games are cool.
They are cool man.
Games.
Those are okay. So those two are for sure my top two, I think, fighting games. I'm pretty sure King of Fighters 99 is going to round out my three. What are your top three fighting games?
It's hard.
That's tough. There's a lot of good.
I know Capcom SNK 2 is still number one, and it's like it's so funny when I hear the menu music and all the Capcom, like that super excited guy. I get all nostalgic.
I love that, dude.
Oh, this game
That
is
dude's
so
great.
good. But I don't know if I can think of my second, third. That's tough. Mark of the Wolves is really good. I need to start thinking more about that one
Yeah.
because that game just feels great.
I think you should try, based on this fighting stuff that we've gotten into, I think you should try King of Fighters 11. Because that one is a good King of Fighters game that's like 13, but you can swap characters on the fly.
11. What one was that on?
PS2. I
Okay.
believe you have a copy of it. If not, I'll bring mine.
Oh, wait. I might because I think you gave me one. I don't know if it worked 100%, but I'll look.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Fighting games are pretty sweet.
Fighting games are always great, especially the fight stick. And I don't know what I was going to do. I lost my entire transition.
We're gonna say something about the Cronus. Is that where you were going?
No, but the Crohn's is cool. I got to get one of those.
Yeah, you do.
Cronus
So did I tell you how they figured out how to make it so the DualShock doesn't turn off now?
No, you didn't tell me that.
You just have to get a USB hub. You plug the hub into the end of the Cronus Max. You plug the controller you want to use in a port 1. You plug a DualShock in a port 4, and that's it. That's all you need to do. The controller stays off. It just keeps sending activation signals, but it never interrupts your gameplay whatsoever.
Is that now? That's for the older Cronus, right?
All of them. The new one.
Oh, so even the new one, they didn't solve the problem. You just have to go buy a USB hub.
Yeah, that's it. But they said like any USB hub pretty much works.
That's kind of a bummer because I haven't seen those for like cheap. Like, oh, hey, $20.
I'll tell you this: that Rock Band one I have. You see that little white one with the silver cord that I always have to use for Rock Band party time.
Yeah.
I bought another one. They're $6.
Where at? Excuse me.
eBay.
Okay, well, maybe I'll just
So
snag
if-
one of those eventually.
Yeah, because they were said in the video, it's like we get it if you're probably scared about buying a USB hub, like, but you don't need an expensive one. You can get a cheap one and it'll work just fine.
Now, the 10 minutes thing is that just based on because your controller turns off every 10 minutes? So, like, if I just left it plugged in, it'd be fine?
No, I guess Sony does a certain thing with their certification process to know if you're using legit controllers or not. And I guess they had to cheese it and to make it think like, oh, this fight stick's a real controller. Don't worry about it. Because I guess there's a chip in the controllers that they can't really emulate. I don't know. It's really weird. They're Sony the only ones that have that. Because on the Xbox One or anything, you can just plug it in and it doesn't kick you off at all.
But with the Xbox One, though, the Cronus
You have to, yeah, that's right. You have to.
places your controller on, like, Xbox One and stuff.
Yeah, because you have to plug in with no battery, hit the home button. It says, okay, authorize controller, and then you can plug in the fight stick.
Yeah, and so, like, it's nice when it's, like, for PlayStation, I can use that Cronus to have just second controller. Just play 2 games, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. You can use a Bluetooth adapter and use a Wii U Pro controller if your heart desires.
Yeah, which I'm definitely going to do. So outside of a bunch of fighting games that I know we've been getting into because that freaking midnight that we did, you finished Fallout 4.
It's weird to say. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. So like there's a difference between finishing and completing. So you finished Fallout 4. You beat the storyline.
And my goal was to do that before Battlefront came out. So if I got lost in Battlefront and didn't get to Fallout, I wouldn't feel so bad. And I don't feel, you know what? It's weird because people are like, oh, the story, Koopa Koopa. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you guys played Fallout for a really deep, narrative that makes you question your life. They're just fun little wompy? Is that a word?
Rompy with an R.
Rompy stories. Like, the story in 3 was, we talked about it. It's like, go find your dad. Cool. Clean water? That's kind of all of them are. Because even the first Fallout, it was, hey, you're out of the vault. Clean water?
Yeah.
Like, you're not like, even Skyrim. What Bethesda game has had a storyline where you're like, whoa.
Yeah, they're all just kind of like okay, which is why like this one guy on the internet was like, "Ugh, you guys talking about The Witcher 3, saying that's someone I was actually talking to was like, The Witcher 3, you thought that was all cool. I mean, you talk about Fallout. Fallout's great. Witcher 3 is so stupid. The storyline's so basic. It's like, yeah, but they never pitched it as anything outside of like, hey, you're trying to find that like fake daughter that you have, and the Wild Hunt's trying to kill her. The end. Like, it wasn't poised to be a super crazy story, but I also felt like the story is not about a grand scale. It was about a small scale thing that had grand tendencies. So like you're just trying, like the whole game almost is you just trying to find Siri.
And there's
And they
nothing wrong with
never, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, as well as there's nothing wrong with the game being like, well, I want to find my dad. You know, like it's just like an adventure that you took, and there's this world that you're a part of, and I think that's important.
Yeah, and there's a couple of weird twists here and there, which I was like, oh, that's neat. In the game, I like the main quest. It kind of has obviously choices like 3, but maybe I think this campaign has more than the other ones because it's like you have to make a pretty big choice, and you have to choose a side. And if you choose that side, either, because I don't want to give too much away, the other sides are going to start hating you, or you kill them all and blow them up. So it's
kind of like, I was kind of like the Witcher 2 thing, where if you choose one path, the other one's completely closed off.
Yep, like that. And there's a point where it warns you. It goes, hey, if you do this, they're going to hate you. So some people have like done saves where it's right before that point.
Yeah.
So they finish that storyline, go back and load it, and just keep going, because the story's different if you do that. But I think the main campaign took me about 20 hours or so, which seems legit. Yeah, because I feel like you could fly through Fallout 3.
See, and I think like I appreciate that games are getting to that point where it's a standard that it's like, hey, this is the part of the game where if you go further, you will lose all this. This is like the no turn back zone. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, I only care about that when it's like the end of the game one, so I can make sure that I go do something, or like if I know that I can't, all I can do from now on is play this part up. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to go back. But when it comes to something like, say, Fallout, I don't care about going back and playing through the other side of the story. I like craft. It goes back to the whole Until Dawn thing. Like, I'm going to play it the one way.
Yeah.
And that's my story. Yeah. Like, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
But I wish that was on the radio. Again, none of that crafting. I had to do it for that one quest, and I hated it. But some people are loving it. I don't. Screw it.
You don't feel like you missed out on maybe some good weapon mods or anything like that by not doing it?
Because there are so many weapons that you find out in the Commonwealth that whatever. And then there's legendary monsters and stuff. When you shoot them, you get a cool weapon, and you can get like, oh, this weapon does this much damage if you have this much low of health. Like, the game does a good job of saying, hey, we get it. You don't like Minecraft that much. You just want to go explore? Go ahead.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Man, I tell you what though, they added a storm system, I guess, where it's like an atomic storm comes over and like lightning comes and it's all radiated and stuff, and you have to like put on a hazard suit, otherwise you get messed up.
That cool.
It looks so good. That game's art style is awesome. And then when people go, oh, game's ugly, it looks like Fallout 3, I'm like, go put Fallout 3 in. Come back to me and say they look
surprised.
Yeah, they look the same. Like, I don't know if we played the same Fallout. I really don't know.
People talking about the graphics in Star Wars Battlefront. Like, are you kidding me? That's like one of the best looking games on consoles right now.
But Fallout is definitely my top 5. We'll talk more about that later for sure. But that game is.
What did that game push out for you? Because you had a top 5 at one point, right?
Yeah, I think it pushed out that Wolfenstein Old Blood. I think it made it go, get out of here. And I love that Old Blood too. That game, Wolfenstein's so good. But then I started now Battlefront, I've been playing that, and it's like, ooh, crap. Because that's... Well, yeah.
So talk to me a little about Battlefront. Like, how are you feeling about that in general?
It is the most perfect sounding video game ever made.
I agree. That game sounds great.
Oh, man, because like you'll be fighting dudes on the ground, you just hear that sweet TIE fighter fly over you, then you see the X-Wing go after it. Oh, man. Like, oh, it's perfect. Yeah. And then when you see the Slave One and the Millennium Falcon that you can never take down because their health is so good,
their health is so crazy. So the Slave One though, what it was like, it has like a very specific laser sound. It's like, I don't even know. I have no idea.
I think I know what you're talking
about. Yeah, it's more like that. You're right. I just get like where the guns are at, or like the very bottom. It's like shooting with your toes, like beep 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 beep.
Oh, I know. It's like, got my little toes, y'all. So what
give me a zoom in on that. Let me see that Slave One figure you've got here. Make a noise.
Choo 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 choo. Oh, well,
your picture's so bad I can't see it.
Great, good. God, what
the one I sent you was the Hot Wheels one.
That one looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Gosh, what does he say in episode 2? Django says to his kid, "Let's waste them," and the kid goes, It's like, shut up, Boba. You're the worst. Gosh. Yeah, it's a cool ship. I like that. It's good.
Sorry, work-related fiasco just happened here. Okay, never mind. Sorry, there was a weird thing that happened. I'll talk to you about it after the fact. This is kind of weird.
Right.
But yeah, no, like I agree though. Like they nailed the sound effects and the feel of Star Wars in that game for sure. And I don't know. Like I think the internet is being very hyperbolic about maybe some of the reviews. Like, for example, I think every review that I've read says this game plays great, it looks awesome, just maybe not enough content. And it's like, okay, so that means the game doesn't suck. You just wish there was more of it, which is basically what everyone's saying. And the whole internet's like, this game is terrible. Can't you see the reviews? Oh, 7.5. That's horrible. I can't even believe a 7.5. It's like, seriously? Like, that's actually not bad.
Or there's no space battles. I'm like, yeah, but you get to see a planet. Like, that's cooler than just being in the middle of space with nothing on the ground.
Like I said before, I think the one thing that I will give to them in space battles is it's really neat that you can take down parts of a ship, and it's all about like conquesting a ship down. Like, oh, take down the thing that generates the shield, go inside and shoot at a wall to take down an engine for a while. Like, it's a neat idea.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think maybe it was balanced as well as I would have liked going back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But like fighter squadrons, like the first time you fly in and you just see a mess of ships, like tons of ships fighting in this area. It's like, holy cow, that's so cool.
I like it when playing Walker Assault, and then you get that image of the shields are down, attack, and you just see so many lasers.
Yeah.
AT-AT, huh? You like that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, AT-AT sounds better, I think, than AT-AT. But yeah, and it just looks so cool. And you see they made it so their bellies are weaker. They kind of balanced that a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. And I think that, like...
I think that helps.
I wonder if it was like that before. Maybe they just didn't tell anyone.
Maybe it didn't hurt it as much. Because if you're in like one of those cannons with that looks like a giant satellite dish, and you shoot its belly, it hurts it a lot.
It's bad. And see, I think people are finally figuring out how that mode works, because it's like everyone's now noticing, like, and I think the on-screen prompts are like telling people, but it's like, okay, now people are understanding that you capture the point, it adds Y wings to your attack run. And then when the attack run hits, you get longer periods of time to destroy that thing. So finally people are doing that. Then you get those satellite dishes and the cannons, and you start blasting that thing. You can take down an AT-AT by the second round, like easily. Like Hoth is harder because there's two of them, but man, you can focus fire on one pretty nice on Hoth with those setups. And I don't know what to call them. Artillery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Boba Fett was a little overpowered compared to some, because he's
so cool,
but he's pretty sweet. I still love seeing the Emperor.
He's not a nasty little pervert. I like the Emperor is out there, and he's all like creeping around the match.
Yeah, he's so great.
Good. So good.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me too, like, I don't know, like, I know people get upset about there not being enough weapons. When we've talked about this before, like every game that I played, like Bad Company 2 compared to Battlefield 4, like Battlefield 4 has a billion more weapons, but you know what I'm doing in Battlefield 4? Still using the same gun.
Yep. You mod it up and done.
Yeah, I do what I get the gun I want to use, and I get, you want more options, but it's like at a certain point you're just like, okay, this gun either shoots faster or shoots harder. Like that's what you're looking for, right? That kind of balance that strikes your play style. You find like two that you like or something.
Yeah, then you kind of go back and forth.
Same message that I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty crazy. I don't know what's up with that.
I guess it's better than the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so Star Wars is gorgeous. Runs it out. Okay, I will say DICE and Naughty Dog are two very impressive developers that can push a lot.
Yeah, them and Nintendo. Like,
oh, Nintendo. Yeah. Jeez, the Wii U. Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's, I'm going to apologize to everyone. There's so much. Okay, like if I spin this, I'm going to try, like, I'm in the basement now, and there is not even carpet. I've got
Where's
nothing.
your arcade machine?
It's all in the other room. Like, we're buying paint and carpet very soon here.
Was that
so
fun
we're
to move or what?
What's that?
Was that fun to move?
Actually, we got these little carpet pads that we had for that drum set. and we just put
Oh,
that on the corner, and it just slid right in. It was really easy to move.
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah, so sorry for all the acoustics. It's pretty echoey down here.
little girl. Man,
Sorry for my dashboard confessional.
it's so good. Yeah, did you see that the Mario Maker update? The better search function is online only. You can't do it on the Wii U.
Yeah, I wrote that on a news section.
Oops.
I was telling. No, it's okay. I was telling people though, like that's not in the game. Like
No.
people kept thinking it was. I was like, nah, they said it was a website.
It's not that big of a deal because you can search and then it queues it up to your Wii U, and you can have your gamepad sitting right in front of you. You just pick it up, boom, play.
Yeah, or you can use your gamepad to go to the internet anyway. So
whoa, maybe that's what they were thinking. Like you can use your
Yeah.
gamepad. Yeah, man, that game pretty good.
So did you play anything else? Fallout, Star Wars, anything else worth mentioning?
Should we talk
A
about
few.
how good Pod Racer is?
Pod Racer is still good.
Yeah, it is.
And
And
Dreamcast version's really nice.
yeah, maybe it's because. Oh, speaking of, man. Okay, I don't like that 64 controller. Like, I think it's probably one of the worst controllers made.
I mean, it's pretty great, but go on.
Some guy told me.
I'm not going to actually defend it. I'm
Some
sorry.
guy came in today and he goes, legitimately, he was like talking to his son. He goes, 64, most comfortable, best controller ever made.
I mean, I don't think it's uncomfortable.
That Hori one's the way to go. That little guy?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. That's actually, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And I looked at him, I go, are we sure we played the same system? And he goes, it's perfect, man. I'm like, dude, GameCube all day. And then his son goes, wait, yeah, Dad. So I gotta
That's awesome.
yeah, but
Did you high five that kid and then go, yeah, you know what's up?
you get Pod Racer for free.
No, I played a couple other things. I have Fallout queued up for after the show, so I can kind of start digging into that a little bit.
Man, that intro is quick. It just gets
So our Sony retail site on PlayStation, they give you the deluxe version of both of those. So if I see correctly, I have the season pass for Fallout, but it's not the season pass for the Star Wars one. I'm kind of bummed out.
Bummer, man. I wish they would put the season pass separately, because they would probably make it less points, so I could take quizzes in time to get it.
Yeah, because it would be with the 3,000 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they re-put up Star Wars because apparently they had a whole issue where the codes didn't work. Like I put mine in and it said, "Oh, your code's already been used." I was like, "No, it's not. I just got it."
You're a liar.
So yeah, I have Fallout queued up. I've been playing a decent amount of Star Wars. Not a whole lot. I'm trying to. I'll probably play a few rounds tonight. I would love to actually set something up downstairs and play it so I don't wake up my wife and kid. But soon, hopefully. But I beat Tomb Raider. That was my big thing.
Oh yeah.
I wrote down a couple notes that I was thinking on my on my way here, on my way here while I was playing through it.
I gotta go downstairs.
The game has this. It does it tracks how many points that you have. So kind of like how Fable would do that whole thing. It's like, oh, how many hands have you held, or how many goblins? did you
Oh,
kill?
I remember Fable doing that. That's weird.
So Fable 2, I think, was the one that really kickstarted that idea, and a lot of games have that, in your track your progression towards, say, achievements. Like I think Gears pioneered tracking your achievements. Fable did it tracking it against your friends. So in-game tracking and stuff is definitely a thing. This one has in-game leaderboards for missions or whatever. So the only thing I took out of that, because I don't really care about the score or whatever, but Major Nelson sucks at Tomb Raider.
Does he?
His scores are so low. He barely did anything, or just went in, walked to the thing, and didn't do anything.
Gosh, what's his real name?
Larry Herb.
Larry Herb.
Larry Herb.
Herb.
I like that she has outfits throughout the game. She actually changes outfits, so it's not like she's in a tank top climbing a mountain and freezing and all that kind of stuff. So she starts off with her climbing gear and a jacket, and she falls down, and I think when she gets captured, they strip her down and not strip her down, not like that, but she's down into her long sleeve tee and pants, and none of her equipment, because they took your equipment away. So makes sense in a story, and then you get to this camp and they give you a jacket and stuff. So you get clothing options that suit the position that you're in, and it all makes sense that you have them. And you can unlock a leather jacket you can wear all the time just because. But I liked it. Like the game, I think I mentioned it last week. It does a really good job of building crafting on the fly, and it makes it so that you can craft like you pick up a tin can or whatever, and you can craft up like a fragmentation bomb where it like just like shoots shrapnel everywhere. Grab a bottle, and if you have paper on you, you can make a Molotov and throw it out. I like that it does. So one thing I kind of wish Uncharted would do after playing even the original Tomb Raiders, I really appreciate its platforming mechanics. So like you know how you would have to jump and like hit A to bound up a wall to reach a higher height, and hit X to like hit the wall with your things. Yeah. It like gave you mechanics to do while just climbing a wall instead of just up and X X X. So like there was some sort of like, and I don't think this game does it that well at all either, but it like gives you a chance to fail at something. But it's cool because like so you have all the climbing stuff that was in the first one. You know, hit A to bound off a wall, hit X to jump or stab your things into the wall. Now it has this thing where like you can throw out a rope and a grapple, like Uncharted did for 4 as well, and you can.
Oh yeah, the trailer.
Like, you could throw that out and swing across gaps, and they chain those things together as well as like shooting climbing arrows up, and you can get an upgrade where you just like grab a climbing arrow and just jab it into the wall, so you can like kind of climb everywhere. And it's cool that they added mechanics to make it actually like fun to climb. So I'm hoping Uncharted will do some of that when 4 comes out.
Oh, I bet.
And the last thing, and I think this is the most important piece, this game found its balance, kind of like how Uncharted 2 did compared to 1. So like, you know how 1 is annoying because there's too many fights and they're long and they're super drawn out?
Yeah, that's why I didn't beat it again on PS4.
Yeah, so like you play through Uncharted 2 and it's like, okay, it's just pockets of fights. You get through like a few guys and you continue on. That's how this new Tomb Raider handles fights now. Like there's small pockets of scenarios, and they do some cool stuff. Like there was one part where I was under ice and I was like pulling people down like stealthily. Like I'd kill a guy, pull him down, and you like go back underwater. And they do some neat stuff with it. And I think that they found their balance, like Uncharted 2 did, to make combat like have a stealth element that turns into like a full-on fight, like before, but like a lot better crafted. And they do stealth attacks like from air, so you can get a thing where she like jumps down like this and stabs down on a guy, and they do some really neat stuff. So the new Tomb Raider has a lot of small improvements to add up in a big way.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and they also I also played Galaxy. Finally put some time into that.
Oh yeah, I saw you talking about that.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like I know I played a little bit of it when you had it, and I love the idea. It seems like a lot of games are doing this, but like the idea of just going in on a run. So like Spelunky, what's that rogue game? Rogue Legacy. So Spelunky, Rogue Legacy. Triforce Heroes is kind of like that, but it doesn't have auto-generated levels. So, but the idea of like doing a run, and that's what Galaxy is like. And it's not just like, oh, the level changes, the mission changes. I don't know how much you played of it, but like,
yeah, they like change the mission structure. Some stuff like, oh, I don't have to go get this thing now. I have to fight that guy, or so on and so forth.
Yeah, and so like if you die, you go back to the beginning of the season. So you have to beat 5 levels in a row to continue to the next season. But if you die and you go back to season 1, episode 1, you might be doing something completely different, like going from, hey, we need to find this space junk to, hey, we need to go rescue that guy.
Yep. Yeah, because that's
really cool.
It's like a Spelunky is. You have 3 levels in each world, and if you die, you start over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for I guess that is the same thing. Spelunky lets you then just continue on from there because you get a key, right?
Yeah. Then you can start out at that point. It's like cool. All right, go.
Cool. Yep. No, I'm definitely looking forward to playing more Galaxy. Like I had a lot of fun with that one. Just like the way that the motion combat feels once you get the juke and the thing that lets you kind of like spin in a circle around guys, like the vertical thruster. Like the combat can be really cool if you really manage to nail the feel of like thrust in one way, spin the other way, and shoot while you're still going that way. It's cool.
I like the music and presentation a lot.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so cool. It's like super rad. Like very 80s anime, like action cartoon.
Yep, really good. Good stuff. Props to those guys who I met one of them that you know.
Yeah, we kind of, I mean, it's not like really a disclosure. It's not like I got the game for free or anything like that. But yeah, I worked with one of the guys who works for that team. He came in when they made Skulls of the Shogun, which I don't know if this is on yours, but there's a Skull of the Shogun icon on your ship.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, he went on to make, they're part of 17-bit. His name is Brett
Yep.
Cutler.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someday we can get him on the show once we go live on the radio and make it legit enough for him to want to be on here.
I told you I brought up Spelunky when I talked to him. So I'm like, oh, it reminds me so much of Spelunky. And he goes, yeah, the lead designer played that game. And then he was like, all right, we got to something like that. Yeah, and you could see it. So
yeah, it's definitely one of those roguelites. Roguelite.
Roguelite. The flick keeps turning off.
Well, like roguelite is a term that people say when something is not because like roguelike, like Rogue was a game, and roguelike is something like Shiren the Wanderer, where it's like really intense and really hard.
Yeah.
And I think something like Spelunky is more like a roguelite. I don't know.
Oh, I guess I played Super Meat Boy with the backwards compatibility. That's something I did.
Good deal.
And it crashed.
That sucks.
The first time I played it, I picked a level and it just goes, dang! Whole Xbox crashed. I had to start over.
That's horrible.
It's just a bummer because that version's better than the PlayStation one because the music. It's a sad thing.
It is a sad thing.
But there you go. I guess that's all I did.
All right, well, hey, we'll transition away, but first let's talk about those new releases. Of course, Fallout came out last week, so we're not going to talk about that one at all, because we're talking about Star Wars. Star Wars is the big one that came out this week. Stella Glow was also this week as well. The Mario Tennis and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is coming out this Friday.
Have you heard about that Mario Tennis?
It seems like it's okay. Like, it's to my expectations. So I think the core tennis looks really good, and I've been hearing that's actually really good.
Yeah.
But the rest of the modes are stupid. Like, I don't care about that giant mushroom. That breaks the game. That's stupid.
No, I'm just because they're like, there's not enough content. Like, well, if it plays really good and the characters are cool, I guess I'm fine with that. But Mario Tennis in 64 is pretty tough to beat.
It is. It is. I think the jumping, like the jumps hits, might really change the game. That sounds really stupid, but it might change the game for Mario Tennis. But no, I think that might be really cool. I feel like there's another big one that came out this week. Wasn't there something? Yeah, maybe not. I had the list, but because I had to move everything downstairs, I completely lost it.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything.
But I know those are your big ones, though. So there you go. There you have it.
Sweet.
So let's transition to some sweet news. Doug, I have an extreme warning for you.
What?
Terrorists are using the PlayStation Network to fight America.
Good. Great. Good.
And everyone else, because they're terrorists.
Take my trophy data, please.
So let me see if I can pull this one up, because it sounded like some of the talks around there were that people were getting oh, gosh dang it. Now I saw some new Star Wars news. I'm all excited about it. Actually, you know what? It might be easier to find my Facebook because Sarah's grandma sent it to me on the internet on Facebook.
Eddie, watch out for your PlayStation.
So, yeah, it was like they were saying that they might have been using it because it's like harder to actually track what people are doing or something like that, which is funny. Like, I chuckled at that because I'm like, well, doesn't everyone complain that the PlayStation Network is hacked all the time? Which is dumb. I wouldn't actually believe that.
Yeah.
But apparently they like, whoa, autoplay video, go away. All right, yeah. So like they're not only the Sony network, but like people were talking about how they're using Second Life and Xbox Live and like all these other like stupid networks, and like they're actually monitoring that stuff for terrorist activity. Apparently, I don't know how 100% true that is, but it's apparently a thing. So, watch out because you're probably being monitored. Oh, that's why
don't be a terrorist.
That's actually why one of the first comments I read when I was reading that article. The first comment is, "Ah, crap! We should really stop talking about how we're going to kill everyone in Halo now."
Yeah,
that's a terrorist right there.
There he is. I heard him teabag that Master Chief.
Let's see. But speaking of Halo 5, that's getting a new update that adds the big team battles along with new maps that go along with that. So that'll be really cool because I always like playing big team battle. And also they're adding more requisitions as well. So new armors and cards and all sorts of stuff like that. I'm just excited for a new armor.
I just don't care about that system. It doesn't really.
Yes.
It doesn't really add much or do anything worthwhile.
I think the burn cards can just go away. And I think all they needed to do was make it a level-based system and call those the requisitions. So, like, you level up, and now it's like, okay, you're level 4, you can use battle rifle. You're level 6, now you can use DMR. You're level 8, now you can use a vehicle. Because once you use the points, they go away anyway. So why do you even need the cards if they're just going to throw them at you regardless? Like, you always have too many cards. So then, like, the cards make you think, okay, maybe I shouldn't use this now because we're not doing as great. I could use it for a match I'd actually win. It kind of hurts the game a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I still like Warzone, but, you know. New Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think that's really cool. If you don't know what Valkyria Chronicles is, it was an old, you could say, like, kind of like turn-based, grid-based, but it didn't have a grid. You just had, like, movement. Like range you could do, and it was like third-person shooter.
Yeah, it was really neat.
In a sense, it was, think like Codename Steam, except for actually think exactly Codename Steam, but a lot more refined and better. So they're remaking that, and they're making a new one for PlayStation 4.
Yeah. So okay, is that coming out on disc? The collection? Do you know?
That I don't know for sure. I didn't know that was something they were debating.
Gravity Rush wasn't on disc, and then the internet was really upset, so they put it on disc. So I almost wonder if that's what's going to happen here too.
I wonder if it was just going to come with the new Valkyria Chronicles. I own that game and have put it in once. I feel really bad. I bought it thinking like, oh, I'll get to this after the holidays because I bought my PS3 during Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played that game.
Yeah,
it was good though. It's really good.
Yeah, it was cool when I played it.
Well, before I transition to all the really big news that came from Nintendo this week, did you have anything you wanted to add before we jump into the big stuff?
So you want to hear something? Oh, man. I had two things. Okay, number one.
Okay.
Did you hear that Robomoto asked to include Crash Bandicoot to Tony Hawk 5?
Oh, and they were denied?
Yeah, and okay, so here we go. Here's some conspiracies for you. Because I'm full of them. I have a Metal Gear one for you too, actually. Okay, so, and they said, someone goes, "Oh, that's a bummer. How come Activision blocked?" This was like a Twitter thing they posted on NeoGAF, and they're like, "Oh, it wasn't Activision's fault. Bad timing. Something else. I don't know. Something happened.
Something about licensing."
And a guy commented on the thread, who's apparently an insider who knows stuff. I guess he leaked stuff before, and all he said was, "There's a reason why." And he won't say anything else. And everyone's like, what? Like, everyone's losing their minds. Like, what does it mean? Are we getting a new game? And now the new theory is he's in Smash Brothers. That's it. He's in it.
Well, everyone else is.
Yeah. So that's.
No, I think Sony could get that back, and they should. They should be fighting to get their Crash Bandicoot back.
Well, remember the trailer, that old PlayStation 4 trailer? It showed the trash can with the arrow and Crash Bandicoot pointing to the PlayStation logo, and people were like, whoa, he's getting out of the garbage, man. Okay.
We're all just waiting for Crash.
I know, he's a cool guy. All right, Metal Gear theory. So, there was a new patch, and this one added something to the timeline at the end.
Did it?
Yeah. So I'm trying to see the look on your face. Like, wait.
See, I hate this because it's like every time you bring one up, I go, "Stop it! You're being delusional. You just want something crazy to happen." But there's always a part of me that's like, okay, but what is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I can't make too much fun of you because I want to know.
Okay,
like, I'm like, oh, this could be a big deal.
If nothing ever happens, at least I can still talk about this game and go, something's going to happen, I promise. And it's not dead yet. To me, in my heart, Metal Gear lives on. So, and the old, because when you beat the game, it gives you the whole timeline now, like the full official Metal Gear timeline.
Way too fast, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the old one, 1967, China conducts its first hydrogen bomb test. Okay, sure. Eva disappears last seen in Hanoi or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So in the patch, they split that up, and now they made it 1967, China conducts its first hydrogen bomb test, and then in 1968, Eva disappears, last seen and whatever. Why would you change that?
Oh, maybe they just wanted to better specify. Now I'm not that excited at all.
But no, there's something, Eddie. There's something. Believe in your bones. Deep in your bones.
My belief is that they probably just said, we should probably separate those. Those are two different points.
It's just weird that would Konami care enough to do that? I mean, obviously they did, and I guess there's something changed about the tape that you put in, the MSX tape. I guess they found something with that. Look, man, I'll have a new Metal Gear update for you probably every single week.
Oh boy, I'm so looking forward to that.
One of these days, I'm gonna just turn on the camera and go, New York City, and then it's gonna be a whole thing, and it's gonna be crazy.
Eventually, you'll be right.
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
if
There
you've
you
got
go.
nothing else, let's get into the big stuff. Nintendo Direct. We talked about them doing their first big one in quite a while, and this one was a doozy. This is like
Wait.
almost what
Did you see that new character they added to the ukulele?
I did.
Rexto 64.
Rex still 64. Looks like a big old block of cheese dinosaur, but he's got a Nintendo
Oh, like the guy
64
from
name.
Easy Mac. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's awesome. All right, there you go. Continue.
No, that's worth mentioning for sure. So yeah, okay, we'll kind of go through this a little fast on some of these points because there's not a whole lot to talk about. But they came out kind of with a big bang. Zelda Twilight Princess confirmed HD remake for Wii U. That's a pretty cool deal. They're bundling it with the Wolf, Link, and Midna amiibo.
I'll probably play through that game now.
Yes, $60 and pre-order now. So get it while you can because you know how amiibos are.
Yep.
Zelda U or Zelda Wii U was also confirmed for 2016, reconfirmed to 2016. And maybe you caught this when they were talking about it on the 8-4 Play podcast, but apparently in Japan, they worded it in a way that says, that basically makes it sound like, yeah, it's going to be on NX2. Don't worry about it.
NX is coming out next year, Eddie.
I still think it's going to be holiday next year. Like, come on.
It's got to be backwards compatible too, right?
Yeah, it 100% has to be backwards compatible for two reasons. One, people who bought it will be burnt because like, great, now I have to buy a new system. Why did I buy this Wii U? Cool, that would have been nice to just wait or whatever. But like also like everyone who wanted to play the Wii U stuff but didn't feel like the console had enough to purchase one will still want to play those games. But now you're giving them a reason to upgrade to your awesome system, but still get to play all the great stuff that existed.
Yep.
Triforce Heroes getting new levels and costumes in a free update. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, someone just sent me some weird thing. That was weird.
That is a very fan servicey game.
For Triforce Heroes?
Oh, nope. Hyrule Warriors. Nope. Completely got those two mixed up. So continue on.
Okay, yeah. We'll get to. Well, yeah. We'll just add. Linkle was added to Hyrule Warrior. Gosh. Yeah, Hyrule Warriors. That's the name of the game, right?
What a name.
Yeah.
What a
So
weird
the
name.
Hyrule Fighting Dynasty Warriors game. They added Linkle, which is a female Link, and it made me start thinking a little bit. And then
Okay.
I kind of said this while we were at work. So I think that the way that they kind of got people thinking about a female Link in the new one, and even though like not maybe intentionally, and like just how they're talking about like, okay, you can see that there's different swords, different shields, and they kind of started tinkering around with like getting the equipment and stuff like that in Skyward Sword. What if in this new one, and the reason they keep putting a hood back on the character model and stuff, what if you could choose gender?
I think that'd be cool.
Now, I'm still in the camp that they won't, and not because like Nintendo's a bigot or whatever, but because they've come out and said after the whole reveal of the new one, it's kind of dusty down here. I'm sorry. After the reveal, and people are like, "That's a girl. That's for sure a girl," even though it's like, no, of course not. It doesn't have anything to show that it's a girl outside of.
I saw your mouth start to do the motion. Doesn't have bubbles.
But like, they came out and said like, no, the story's always been about a male boy, a male boy. The mail boy, the postman.
Oh,
a postman coming. No,
yes.
it's always they said it's like always been about like the boy and the girl, like the holding those things. Like I don't know. They worded it in a way that said like, yeah, there's always going to be Link the man and Zelda the girl or whatever have you.
There's always a lighthouse. There's always a city. There's always a man.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good BioShock pull. I'm proud of that.
Oh, throw it.
So I don't know. Link will look silly to me, but people seem pretty excited about that.
That's cool. I just don't know if I like the name.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you could think of another way to make Link name female, but I couldn't think of one, to be honest.
Do you think they'll do a Prince Zelda now?
They better, or else they're being the bad people. They're
Would it be Zeldman?
Zeldman.
Zeldman. Oh,
It'd be Zelder.
oh, probably.
Bleh. Splatoon weapons and maps. They're getting more. Actually, the update went live, I think, right when that happened. So yeah, new weapon in like a museum, new map in a museum rather. A bunch of new weapons go along with that. Xenoblade is getting pre-loadable packs, so you can start downloading those right now. It takes about like 15 gigs when I checked it today.
So I thought the packs were 10, game was 15.
The game is like 25.
Oh.
So yeah, I looked at the stuff
Wow.
today, and I think that's what it was. The game's 25, the packs are 15, but you can download them separately. So if you don't feel like you need the character long distance pack or whatever like that, you can do them separate.
I did them all. The flash drives get enough space, so
Yeah, but if you were buying the game digitally, the 15 is included in the 25. So all of those packs are part of the digital one, so you don't have to download those if you're going to buy the digital one, because the digital one will have all of that.
Okay.
Pokemon had a couple news things. They had a new P-Cross coming out, which I enjoy P-Cross. So Pokemon, I'm kind of sad it's not a 3D P-Cross because I think that would have been cooler.
Everyone on the internet's been saying exactly what you just said.
Just imagine if you got 3D P-Cross Pokemon models. That'd be sweet.
That'd be pretty cool.
And of course, they're adding Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow to the 3DS as downloads, and adding all the functionality to like transfer and your Pokemon and share your Pokemon over Wi-Fi, which is pretty cool.
I'm gonna pick up Yellow. The only problem with those old games, like the music is the best, but they're really slow because the games are so much faster now, you know. But I love those old sprites. Charizard is a big, doopy looking dragon, and and Blastoise is so fat.
And Pikachu's a little fatty too.
Oh man, yeah, he loves his ketchup.
What, that's ketchup?
It was in the anime. He loved ketchup a lot, and I remember you could buy Heinz ketchup bottles with Pikachu on it. It was like Pikachu approved. I don't know.
That's great.
I know.
Let's see. I got really excited and then very let down at the Star Fox announcement. So they announced the date for April something or another, 22nd or something like that, which is awesome. I'm glad they said it.
Yeah, sure is awesome.
Early in the year. So why I got excited is because they're like, hey, earlier, we announced that the game was delayed. And I was like, this is it. They're gonna say it's gonna announce this year, and I'm gonna win that pizza.
No.
And they're like, then nope, I got my heart broken.
So did you watch the new gameplay clips? It looks a little nicer.
I wanted to look at some comparisons because I know people are out there saying it looks nicer, but I wonder if it's just because no one really paid attention to it. I want to see some comparisons for sure.
You know what? That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I'll see. I think that like little remote control thing, that might be lame and it might kind of break some of the stuff, but the rest of it was very Star Fox 64-ish.
Kind of all I want. I don't really want any more.
That's all you really need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paper Jam also got a release date. The Paper Mario / Mario All-Stars kind of crossover RPG. That looks super cool.
I'm thinking about picking that up. Yeah, I'm thinking about that too.
Let's see. Fire Emblem Fates. So I looked into this. So there's the 2 physical versions.
Yep.
The downloadable 3rd chapter is an epilogue.
Oh,
so that's why there's not a 3rd game. It's a 3rd piece of content. So when you pre-order the $80 edition, you get both Fates. What do they call that? There's 2 subtitle names. I can't remember them, but you get the 2 Fates games that are like the opposing sides of the story or whatever, and then the epilogue ties into that, which will release later, but you get it as part of that set.
Kind of makes me wish I had time for a Fire Emblem, because I bet you I'd like them.
The Fire Emblem games are really good, but I have this problem where I play Final Fantasy Tactics, and I think Tactics does range stuff a lot better and environmental stuff better.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's like,
when does it come out?
I don't know.
Speaking of, whatever happened to that Shin Megami versus Fire Emblem game for Wii U? Whatever happened to that?
I don't know. I don't even know if it was supposed to be Wii U. They just said it was going to be a thing in general.
Because that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that might be neat. Maybe they were going to do Fates first, and then that'll be their crossover thing for NX.
It's next year.
Yeah, probably. Of course, we talked about the Mario Maker search portal. Not in the game. Will definitely
Not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably load. Like I said, you can load it up on your thing. It'll be fine. And the last 2 major big things. I literally I think I screamed yes in my car when I was driving home because I had it on my phone. What?
That's what you were excited about.
Yeah. Not Dragon Quest 7 and 8 coming to the States because I'm so excited about that.
You got to buy both of them?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think like the Dragon Quest stuff has been super good. I played the remakes on the DS and loved those. Dragon Quest 4 and 5. Dragon Quest 8 is a fantastic game. It is super good. It just has that old school feel, and it's awesome. Super good. And the Dragon Quest 7, they're actually redoing all of the translation work for it.
Really?
Yeah, so this game already came out on PlayStation 1 and had a pretty rough translation from what I understand. And I hope they take some of the grind out of this new one. That would be really nice. But apparently the Dragon Quest 7 is getting full-on better translation, kind of like how they did for Final Fantasy Tactics. They did War of the Lions. They redid all the translation of that to be accurate instead of some guy just like writing, oh, heck. And then 8 is adding those new characters and stuff that they had in the Japanese one. So that's really cool.
Oh, see, 8 is the one I played. And I really liked 8. So.
8's great. If you liked 8, you would like we should play 9 together. We should co-op 9.
All right. I like slimes.
9's great. 9 you get to create your own character and play it 4-player co-op.
That's pretty awesome.
That's super cool.
Are you getting Heroes when that goes on sale?
Probably eventually, just to support Dragon Quest in general. But it sounds like, okay, so let's get to the next announcement. I'll get into this next piece because the next announcement ties into what I'm thinking. So the biggest announcement that they had there was Cloud Strife is coming into Smash Brothers.
Amiibo!
Dude, that's going to be super cool. They get a Cloud Amiibo and I play him in a game. That's awesome.
People are mad about it.
They can suck it. I mean, listen, I understand the complaint. Like, a lot of people are like, why didn't they pick a Nintendo-based Final Fantasy to hit it like Terra or Cecil or someone? But, like, come on. Cloud Strife is, like, the guy people think of when they think Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah. So, Cecil's got that cool armor, though.
Yeah, Cecil looks awesome. When he was the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So this kind of, to me, this seems like Nintendo is very poised to have a really good relationship with Square Enix again. So you're seeing Dragon Quest come over to the States, which is kind of a big deal. That's getting a mainline game again. It's been like 9 was kind of a big deal, but like 9 was such a big gap from 8. 9 was a long time ago at this point, like a really long time ago, and we haven't gotten 10 yet. And so they had that, like, we have 11 coming to the DS, and 11. This now makes me way more hopeful that this is hitting the States, and we're definitely going to get it probably on NX and PS4.
Oh yeah, probably.
But it just sounds like, yeah, we're probably going to get, maybe we'll get Final Fantasy 15 eventually on NX, or Final Fantasy 16, or maybe we'll get Realm Reborn on there. Like, it just sounds like Square is actually going to be a lot better with.
Well, you remember hearing that rumor a long time ago they were going to remake 6, and it was going to be exclusively on the NX.
That would be great. I would love to play 6 again.
Who knows if that's even true whatsoever, but that'd be neat.
That means we'll probably get Final Fantasy 7 Remake on a Nintendo console as well. Whoa. Well, no, I guess we wouldn't because that's only Sony, right?
Sony at first.
Oh, right. Timed exclusive stuff.
I think Shenmue is only on PlayStation PC, though.
Yeah, well, they're footing the bill on something.
Nothing to do with Final Fantasy, but there you go, Shenmue. Here's your Shenmue update.
But yeah, so like speaking of the Smash stuff as well, they will be holding another direct mid-December there. So you'll probably get more details on Cloud and some more, probably the whole confirmation of who won the Smash vote for the next character to come in.
And this is the last.
For that.
A4 podcast were saying in Japan they say this is like the last Smash update. Like they're
which is pretty crazy.
So what if you hear "Oobadiga, boom, boom" and Crash comes up?
I would think that's hilarious. That'd be great.
Man, that'd be the big middle finger to PlayStation All-Stars. Like, ha! You couldn't get me, even though I like that game.
So before we move on to our last discussion topic, who do you think wins the Smash vote?
Gosh, okay. What are big characters that people were probably voting for?
It's probably going to be Waluigi.
John Cena.
John Cena's not going to make it.
There's a really funny picture of John Cena as actually the final form of Crash Bandicoot. I'll have to show you sometime. It's really funny.
Okay. That makes. I totally get it though. Because He has those short legs and those long shorts.
Always wearing. Yeah. Someone posted it online. I'm like, yep, that's perfect. There he is. He's back.
My. That is fantastic.
I bet Shovel Knight's in it. Like
I could see that.
He's totally in that game.
Shovel Knight could be in there because they already got the amiibo that'll support and Smash. Like I could definitely see that happening. He'd be a great addition.
Think we'll see a Splatoon kid?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
They should do that. Let's see. Oh man, perfect world we would get. Okay, here would be great. You ready?
Yeah.
Simon Belmont.
Awesome.
Rayman.
That'd be okay.
Bomberman. And Bayonetta.
Bayonetta makes perfect sense. Come on, let's do this.
Those ones would be cool, but or Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim would be really cool. Isaac from Golden Sun would be perfect.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, so many good ideas.
Who's gonna win? Like it's.
What
crazy.
if they add like a ton of characters, like a ton?
Dude, if they had ukulele, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or even Banjo Kazooie, because I remember Microsoft came out and said, "Oh, we worked with Nintendo on Banjo before. It'd be cool."
Yeah.
Well, that was Mr. Phil Harrison.
Phil Spencer.
Spencer, who's Harrison?
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, hey, let's transition to the last piece. Like I was mentioning on the page, DLC has been kind of a big topic lately because of Star Wars Battlefront announcing their $50 season pass. Now, I expected that to be a thing. Like since they announced Star Wars Battlefront, like okay, they'll have a $50 season pass just like they did for Battlefront or Battlefield, and it'll have 4 map packs and they'll add modes just like. And I was saying that forever. Like they'll probably add space battles at that in one of those modes. Like it's very, very possible. So I think like it's weird to me that people are surprised about this, but at the same time, I get why they're mad about it. For Star Wars specifically, I get, some people are saying like, well, the season pass is the rest of the game because there's not enough content. I can kind of get that, but I'm not unhappy with what I have right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the other thing is like, okay, you look at games like Halo, and they're just giving the maps away for free, and to not split the user base. So how do you weigh in on that? How do you feel about a season pass like this?
I think that's how these games are going to start going. I bet that they're going to drop season pass like style stuff and go, hey, there's microtransactions, or you get different like requisition packs. I bet you they're going to start doing that and go, but everyone gets the maps for free. But you can give us $30 up front and you get all the requisition packs for free for a year or something stupid like that. Right. Like I could see that happening, but I don't know, man. I don't like season passes as much as this guy. I don't. I think they're silly. The one time I bought one, I got burned, and never again.
No, was that Injustice?
Yeah, I will never do that again.
That was bad.
Yeah, I will never do that again, and I get it. I wish map packs weren't $15 a piece too, but they've been $50 for
years.
For like 5 years now, right?
Yeah.
So
now you would probably agree though that this is probably this is the time for change. Like
yes, it is.
It shouldn't be a $50 pass. Now if it was $30, would you think that that's cool? It was like 30, a lower price point.
30 is easier to say than like, yeah, you pay 30 because Fallout's is 30, and most people will go, oh, 30, yeah, sure.
But see, I think with Fallout, at least you have like a crap ton of content, and then they're going to add more to that later that doesn't affect anyone else except for you.
Yeah. It's just because when you say 50, it's like, oh, I could buy another game for that. I'm like, yeah, you kind of could.
That's, very true.
Yeah, I don't know. And like season passes are weird because it's like gives you all the DLC, and then other stuff comes out and you don't get it. It's like, what? I have the season pass. Shouldn't I get that? Like, nah, man. Sorry.
Yeah. To EA's credit, their season passes have been really good for the last couple of games that they put out, I think. And they add a bunch of modes, they add a bunch of maps, they add a bunch of extra content like weapons and characters and stuff like that too. So they bulk up their season pass really well, and they make it worth your money. And I think that they've only done one pass ever, and it gives you everything. And they reward people who buy the season pass too, like giving them extra stuff on top of the other stuff that you're getting. So I don't know, like it's good on them for doing it well, but at the same time, yeah, it's maybe a little too much money. And
it doesn't give you enough discount because it's like, oh, you save $10 by getting the season pass. Like, okay, so I don't even get a full 15 off, so I don't get a map pack for free.
Yeah. Like, so what would the savings be on that? It's like if you save $10, you're saving what, like 12 $25 a map pack. Is that right?
Yeah,
my
it's
math is horrible.
So like if each map pack is 15 and it comes out to 60 if you buy them separately, why don't you make it like 40 bucks?
You're not even saving $3. I'm terrible at math.
Oh,
You're not even saving $3. So it's not even like that. I don't know.
No, it's like if you get the season pass for 40, you save like $20 or something. Like, oh, okay. But since you save 10, oh, all right. I'll just buy them when they come out. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people do because they're like, well, I don't have the money to shell it out right now, like 50 all at once, but I'll pay 15 if I think that map pack's cool.
Yeah, because like some of the DLC for, I mean, 2 of the packs out of Fallout 3 weren't great, but there was like 5 packs, so 2 out of 5 ain't bad. Yeah. But it's, you know, season passes are scary because like the Batman stuff hasn't been great, and people shelled out money for that season pass. So far, I haven't seen a lot of people happy with that either. So,
which one did you say?
Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh yeah, that was bad because that one was $40, and the one thing that everyone wanted out of that was $7.99.
Yeah.
Like seriously, no one cares about skins that much to pay $40.
No, not at all. And like, from what I understand, people were happy about the Mortal Kombat one this year because they actually gave people a lot, and that's good.
But there's a second season pass.
Yup.
Like they've already announced season 2. Like so like I will say this. When it comes to a season pass, I'm going to put that in quotes, quote unquote, season pass for Killer Instinct. They did it right. It's basically like $20 gave you the game, right? Mm-hmm. And then they was like, okay, we announced like a whole other set of characters and balancing. That's basically like game 2, and that's $20. And it's like what, 8 characters a piece or something like that?
Yeah,
it seems low, but it's like you can play the game for free. And you can piecemeal each character if you don't want to play as like if you never play as Pharaoh dude, you never have to buy him. You know, like
and that game's great. It's I think they did a good job with their model because like someone like me, it's like I just want everything, even if I don't play as that guy. What if someone comes over, they want to play Saberwolf, and they I didn't buy him, sorry, dude. You just drop the $40, boom, you get everything.
Yeah, and it's
a
like
lot of content too.
The way that they position that game, I think, is the smartest thing to do for a fighting game because you look at Street Fighter and they're following suit with what Killer Instinct did.
Yeah,
and you know now you don't have to have Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter Arcade, Ultra Street Fighter. Now you have Street Fighter 5, and it's just like okay, cool. Like when we do a title update, we'll add it to this. When we add new characters, you can unlock them through this. You can do the season pass or whatever and get all the characters. So it's like you can do what Killer Instinct's doing, where it's like Killer Instinct is now just the platform for which that game is.
What if Street Fighter 5 is a MOBA?
Huh? It won't be a MOBA.
What if it is and they add heroes?
That'd be weird.
Yeah, it would be awful.
I mean, every other game's kind of doing it, I guess.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Yeah, I think the Street Fighter way is a nice way to do it. I think the Halo 5 all map packs are free is a way to do it. Like, change is coming. Yeah,
and even like Rainbow Six, they're not giving away every map away. They're doing a season pass that includes maps and modes, I think, as well. So it's not like Battlefield is the only one. I mean, Call of Duty has a $50. Star Wars has a $50. I think Rainbow's is more like $30. But there's other things that are
and then there's that
totally like that.
There's that rumored second season pass for Black Ops 3 as well. You know that they're going to keep going to year 2.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. Video games, man.
Video games indeed. Sorry, I thought I heard someone crying.
Season passes. Gosh.
Well, that's all I have for this week. Did you have anything for me before we close it out for the day?
Nope.
No crazy question you want to throw my way?
Man, I'm really tired. I haven't played a lot of Fallout. Okay, well, I guess I got one. Let's say you wake up out of a vault after being trapped down there for a really long time. What do you do?
Oh, okay. So
here we go.
So you remember playing Lost Odyssey? There was that story he told about that guy who was in a cave for a long time, and he walked outside. And he goes, "I can finally go out and see the world. Ah, the sun!" And he was blinded by the light.
Yes, I think so.
So that's what my fear would be if I was in a vault for so long.
Oh yeah.
So like I think what I would do is like find the door and crack it open and just kind of squint at it for a while. And then like I don't know. Like I'd probably search around for food and see what I could take with me, and then go find the next settlement and see what's
Go
up.
find your sugar bombs.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, living in the world of Fallout would suck.
Yeah, it would.
I hate Death Claws.
I would,
But there you
I
go.
would make it my objective to go to the next state, and hoping it wasn't just like, okay, well, they bombed Boston. Hopefully they didn't bomb the next guys over, you know.
Oh, they did.
And I would
No
just
matter
keep
where-
going. I would wander until I found a spot where they didn't.
Probably Antarctica. Did I say that right?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd probably go there. Why would you bomb ice?
Yeah, stupid.
It's going to melt anyway.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We always appreciate it, and we'll see you guys on the next level.